Hi, my name is Dalton. I'm going to be talking to you about my experiences with Muse Tech this semester at JMU. I'll go ahead and get right into it. We talked about a lot of things this semester, one of them being our engagement portfolio project, where we had to interview someone and relate their experiences with music to our course curriculum with music education. One thing that I can immediately think of was my interviewee, Lemmy Hook, talked about how he and his father used to listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire in the car all the time when he was a little boy. Um, and nowadays, he doesn't really listen to that. He listens to a lot of modern pop and rap music and rock, classical rock. Um, and while he doesn't listen to that style of music as much anymore, he has still developed an appreciation for it. Um, Relating this to my course curriculum in my global music class this semester, one of the very first discussions we had was that world music many times doesn't sound like classical Western music and may sound a little weird to our ears just because it's something we're not used to. This doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, though. A lot of times, people in the culture, as much as music is important for us, it's important for their culture as well. So it's our job to look at music critically and to be able to understand how it works and have this appreciation for it, even though we may not fully be able to understand all the components of it. Going on, we did a leadership project where we had to create an adaptive instrument. Me and my partner, Maddie Littman, decided to build a big giant flower. We used a tool called Makey Makey and then Scratch to use our coding. When you would press a petal on this flower, it would generate a solfege syllable, and all of the petals were color coded, which would relate to colored notes on a sheet of staff paper. This would really help beginning musicians, especially in the elementary school, learn how to play. A lot of times teachers will use colored notes on a piano to help kids learn which notes to press and what kind of sounds good. Like, why does this sound like a major chord? Or why does this sound minor or sad? And this not only would help beginning students, but a lot of students with disabilities, where if you had a learning disability, you might not be able to read standard notation as efficiently as the typical student, and using this color note coordination would be really helpful for them in their learning. Another thing that we did this semester was create assignments using DAW and MIDI. The one thing I can say about this is that I just have such an appreciation for the amount of time it takes online personnel to make podcasts and YouTube videos and all these kinds of things. Even with me doing some of the most basic things, it took so long. And I would just want to say that if you ever go online and your favorite creator says, I need more time making this video, I want it to be quality for you guys, let them do it. It's probably going to be better in the long run anyway, that they're creating something from the heart, something that they love to do, and it'll ultimately mean more to you watching later. Another thing that we did, we read a lot of scholarship articles, and after we were done reading, we would post our discussions on Twitter using the hashtag JMUMuseTech. Doing this helped facilitate a discussion between our classmates and all the things that we were learning. While not all hashtags are used for this purpose necessarily, this is a good way to interact with millions of people all over the world on certain topics, especially scholarly ones. If that's something you want to do, you just have to search for the right hashtag. But by doing this and doing these discussions, Twitter also has a character count on how much you can type. So your responses have to be clear and thorough to help facilitate this discussion even more. And we don't want to have a negative connotation towards anyone. And we don't want that especially to show up in our post. We want to be very critical and be able to think about our responses more. And I'd say the one thing that I've learned most from Muse Tech this semester is just how many opportunities technology can provide us with music, YouTube, and podcast, online resources, scholarship articles, DAW, MIDI. All of these help facilitate learning in a way that I was never taught before, and honestly enhanced my experience. There's more than one way to create music. Adaptive instruments help a lot of children with disabilities, and beginning learners help pick up an instrument or learn how to read music. And that's something that is honestly so much better for music education as a whole.